42% of Americans need it. Whether you're pro or anti-Trump, 40K versus 75K is the limit depending on whose proposal passes. According to Treasury Secretary Mnuchin, could be up to $1,200 just like before. And according to the IRS, when are we going to get the checks? Welcome back to Restless Riches. If you're already a subscriber, thank you very much for coming back. If not, please consider subscribing. So first off, 42% of Americans say they need an additional stimulus check for essential things like food, which, yeah, I guess you do kind of need that, right? Because without food, unless you're a robot, bad things happen. So an additional 32% said they don't need it, but it could really help them. So that goes to over 70% of Americans who either need or could really use another stimulus check. So that is, by my simple mathematics, a big majority of Americans. So the urgency is definitely there. Second of all, they crunched the numbers on if you're pro-Trump or anti-Trump, and the numbers are almost equal, about 70 in the 70% range of wanting a stimulus check. So it's kind of similar between the two, need and want, and then pro-Trump or anti-Trump. So the need is there on both sides of the political spectrum. So this is a universal thing that is not just limited to Democrats or Republicans or Trump supporters, anti-Trump people. This is everybody. Not everybody. I mean, I'm sure Jeff Bezos is fine, but most people. And, well, speaking of Jeff Bezos, he's not meeting either of these limits. The big thing is what income limitation to give the stimulus check people to. So there are Republicans that want it to be $40,000 annual income or less for a single filer, whereas the previous bill and the HEROES Act that passed would be $75,000. So there's a big divide. This is $35,000, but this is $75,000 would be a vast majority of Americans, whereas $40,000 would cut a lot of people off from this and make the stimulus package a lot smaller. So this is something very important to look out for, obviously depending on how much you make a year. Now, they also talked to Treasury Secretary Mnuchin about how much it would be, and he said it's probably going to be in the same range as before of the first CARES Act that went through, which means you would get a stimulus check up to $1,200, depending on your qualifications. So then the last thing would be, when are we going to get these checks? So according to the IRS, it would take them a few weeks from when whatever stimulus package is passed to get them out to people. The biggest caveat being, of course, when the stimulus package passes. So as we talked about yesterday, given the current debate between the GOP and the president and the White House, there is not a certain timeline for that. But we do know when we get that taken care of, then the IRS, boom, they got their plan in place to get it out to us. I would also like this information to get out to the American people, so definitely give this video a like and share it if you haven't already. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.